Hello everyone, salutations. So you can see a graph which says global IoT market forecast, and it's done in August 2018, and it predicts that the demand of IoT stands for Internet of Things, all right? So its demand is increasing steadily, you can see. All right, each year the demand is constantly increasing. So this is a prediction which is made, all right, and it's billions of investment, and accordingly it is going to affect and it is going to add on the economy, global economy, you can say. So IoT is an example of emerging technologies. Emerging technologies are nothing but the technologies which are existing in the market nowadays, as well as the added advantages or added features or the more number of features that will be available in those technologies in upcoming years. So that is known as emerging technologies. Now, emerging technologies nowadays they are affecting our life. Affecting means increase. It's increasing our productivity, then making the services more accessible, and it's making our life really simple. Online payment, who doesn't like? Okay, who doesn't like to shop online, save some time? Okay, if they are busy, they can spare some time to do online shopping, all right, then online banking, online reservation, then obtaining your Aadhaar card or a PAN card or a passport through online mechanism which the government has done already. All right, so these are various automation systems, and they have really benefit. They have lot of benefits. They have saved our time, made the process more and more simple. Okay, and this is done through internet connectivity. Without internet connectivity, emerging technologies we cannot just imagine. It's out of imagination. All right. So that is the demand of IoT. Not just IoT. IoT is one such example of emerging technologies. There are more than lot of emerging technologies. You can say blockchain, 3D printing, 5G technology, artificial intelligence. All they come under emerging technologies. Emerging means advancing, all right, which is available, but they will advance even more. Or some new technologies may also be available within 5 to 10 years. All right. So we are going to study about emerging technologies, which is a chapter of Standard 12 Science IT subject, and we are following Maharashtra State Board syllabus. So, emerging technologies, how it's explained. The term commonly refers to technologies that are currently developing. Okay, the technologies which are currently developing and are expected to be available within next 5 to 10 years. Okay, so these are the various examples which I have got from this website of ittelangana.gov.in. Okay, so blockchain, artificial intelligence, big data, IoT, VR. VR stands for virtual reality. AR stands for augmented reality, 3D printing, robotics, cloud computing. You must have heard all these terminologies. Now, if you have a Gmail account, so Gmail uses cloud computing facility. So if you have a Gmail account, you're definitely using cloud computing in your day-to-day life. Okay, in your smartphone you are using Google Drive, so that is an example of cloud computing. All right, then IoT, Internet of Things, we are going to study in detail just now. Then artificial intelligence, so examples of artificial intelligence: Siri, Alexa, which are available in your smartphones as well as laptops. Then 3D printing, robotics, you have heard about them. All right, and most of these topics, almost all of these topics are already discussed in 11th standard chapter number 1. So chapter number 1 had a last topic which contained all these topics. Okay, so for this lesson we are going to basically focus on these four technologies, that is IoT, which stands for Internet of Things, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and 5G. All right. So beginning with IoT, which stands for Internet of Things. So in simple terms, I'm going to explain you, and then we will see what is described in the lesson. All right. So IoT means the devices which we use at home, offices, okay, and it may also accompany your smart city, smart grids, okay, smart traffic mechanism. All these are examples of IoT. But these devices, they have more features, like they can communicate through internet, okay, like you have a smartphone, you can definitely connect with other smartphone, you can use WhatsApp for communication, many other ways of communication, you can give a phone call. So that means if you are making a phone call, that means you are successfully making connection with another smartphone. Two devices can communicate. Similarly, many such devices, they may be domestic devices, home appliances, vehicles, okay, they are capable of communicating through internet connectivity and special networks. Through them, they can communicate, they can collect data, they can store, and all this data is used for some future activity. Okay, activity which is already programmed. All right, so that is IoT. So smart TV, smart refrigerator, smart AC, smart thermostat, all these are examples of IoT which we are aware in our day-to-day life. Okay, so as per the textbook, the IoT is the network of physical devices, vehicles, home appliances, and other items embedded with electronics, software, sensors, actuators, and connectivity. So simple devices, but they are powered. They are having some things extra. Okay, they are embedded with what? Some more electronical components. Then we have some softwares. There will be some sensors, actuators, and some another connectivity. The another connectivity is internet connectivity. Okay, now, so if they have gathered some data, if these devices are gathering some data, so there must be some mechanism to save the data, or to process the data. Definitely it has processors. There will be cloud storage, or there will be actual hard drives or servers to store the data also. Now IoT enables the devices to connect, collect, and exchange data. Okay, so these devices are smart because they can communicate among themselves. Okay, then embedded with technologies, these devices can communicate over internet, and they can be remotely monitored and controlled. For example, if you have a smart AC at home or a smart light at home, let's talk about smart AC. So maybe you are on the way in your vehicle, okay, maybe in a bus, or maybe in your personal car. Okay, so from there you can put the AC on, you can start the AC through a mobile app. Okay, you can put on the AC while you are on the way, so that when you reach home your room is already cool. Okay, so that is smart AC. Similarly, we have smart thermostats. Then we have smart lights, which can be monitored through mobile app. You can control the brightness and dimness through the mobile app. Okay, so these are that is how communication takes place, and you can monitor them remotely. But means it's not necessary to be present. You have to be present in the home to monitor them. You can control them from outside the home also. Then it creates opportunities for more direct integration of physical world into computer based systems. That means, see, they have sensors, as it's mentioned in the first point, and sensors are responsible to gather information like temperature, humidity. Okay, now see, your laptop, smartphone, they all are capable of uh, gathering the data. Now see, I have taken the exit from the slideshow, and see, it's showing 23 degrees Celsius cloudy and it's raining outside. So it's showing me the weather condition, as well as it's informing me about the temperature. That happens in all modern devices, in the smartphones, in the laptops, and in many other devices. Not necessarily only in smartphone and laptops. This may happen in all the devices because they have sensors. Okay, so this is the use of sensor. Now, what we were discussing. So, a sensor is responsible for gathering details from the outside physical world. Okay, and this data is utilized to communicate to the further processor and take some further action or bring some solution. Okay, so it creates opportunities for more direct integration of physical world into computer-based system. That means this temperature, humidity, all things are available in the physical world, but the input is gathered and passed into some computer-based system, resulting in efficiency improvements, economic benefits. And due to this, the processes in IoT are automated. Okay, automatic. These devices are automatic, and that is why it's called smart. Okay, and IoT reduces human efforts. Now, this is not the part of the textbook, but out of curiosity, I was trying to find more about sensors and actuators, and I got this fantastic detail. Let's go through it. So, a device that detects events or changes in the environment and sends that information to other electronic devices. So, that is the function of sensor. What does actuator do? The component of a machine that is responsible for moving and controlling mechanisms. Second point says for sensor connected to the input ports of the system. That means sensor is responsible for gathering inputs. Okay, so if it is a system, IoT system, so system is a whole thing which has a input, then some processing takes place and it gives some output. That is known as a system. So it is an IoT system. So the input role is taken by the sensor and the output role is taken by the actuator connected to the output ports of the system. Now, help to monitor the changes in the environment. Okay, so temperature change, everything data is going to be gathered and reflected. So, data is gathered and sent for further processing by the sensor. Then, what does actuator do? Helps to control the environment or physical change. Now, how can a device will make change in physical environment? We will see through an example. Okay, then output is an electrical signal. Okay, so sensor gives output in the form of electrical signal, and actuator does some actual movement. Okay, it brings some change in the physical environment. Now these are some examples: biosensors, image sensors, motion and chemical sensors. And examples of actuators are electric motors, stepper motor, home drivers, and hydraulic cylinders. Okay, now physical representation of how they look actually actuator sensor, but I have seen actually various designs, various varieties of actuators and sensors. They are just one of them. Okay, it's showing comparison, but these look very simple. They are very simple, very tiny, but they see, actuator gives you output, sensor gives you input. That means a tremendous amount of responsibility we have, and some processing is also done. All right, now see this very nice working example I have got. So, if there is a fire breakout, and if you have an automatic mechanism to control the fire, okay, so how it's taking place. So sensor is going to gather the input. It will notice temperature change. It will notice the heat and temperature sensor detects heat. So step number two, it takes the input of the temperature and sends to where? It sends to control center. So sends this detect signal to the control center. Next step, control center sends command to the sprinkler. So sprinkler will sprinkle water to stop the fire. So here we have the actuator. So actuator actually turns on the sprinkler to stop the fire. All right. So there was a increase in temperature, rise in temperature, and the sprinkler sprayed some water through the command of the actuator. Okay. So that is how actuator brings a change in the physical environment, which is mentioned over here. So such automatic IoT system, there are many such automatic IoT system, and they may have such kind of working. Okay, where the input will be some sensor and there will be some output provided by the actuator, and in between some controlling process takes place. All right. Now, these are some examples of IoT: home security, activity trackers, industrial security and safety, smart farming, connected healthcare system, smoke detector, thermostats. Thermostats are just like the opposite of your air conditioning. Air conditioning cools the environment, and thermostats they make the temperature. They give a slight rise in the temperature according to your input. Okay, so smartphone, smart TV, smart art, you have heard about many of them. Then smart light switches, smart lock, smart factory equipment. Okay, so these are all the examples of IoT. Then we will discuss the advantages of IoT. First is the efficient resource utilization. So it's to make the maximum use of any resource. Okay, we must know how to use it. Okay, so if you know about the resource completely, then only you can make maximum use of it. Now see, a fire controlling system. Okay, so now this system, very simple devices are used, and it is totally automatic. There is no need of human attendee, okay, or an employee to run around and start the switches or put on the fire alarm and everything. This entire system is automatic and it takes care. Okay, so that is how it's automatic, and that is efficient resource utilization. Now, next we have minimize human effort. Okay, so if there is automation in our task or our processes are getting automatic, so human effort becomes less. Now, time saving, as IoT reduces human effort, it saves time and speeds automation process. Now, next is enhanced data collection. IoT devices can collect data from the environment, as we discussed, where sensors can collect data from the environment like weather, sound, pollution, etc. Okay, so this data can be used to take decisions. Okay, just like here, the control center will take some decision, and if now control center will also have a lot of programming in this. Okay, if the temperature is between so and so, then use some another mechanism, and if temperature is uh, within another range, so it indicates fire. If it indicates fire, then use the sprinkler. Okay, so or if the temperature is not that dangerous to identify it as a fire breakout, then use the alarm. Okay, to alert the people. That may be different type of outputs. Okay, so that is a decision making. So decision making has also to be programmed. Now, next we have improve security. So improve security means you may have smart doors which can be only opened with passwords or facial recognition or any magnetic card. So that is how you can improve security. You can also have smart security. Now you have heard about security, but now what is smart security? That means if any unknown person is getting identified, it will give some message indication or some alarm. Okay, so that is how IoT will give you better security, improved security. So these are the advantages: efficient resource utilization, minimize human effort, time saving, enhanced data collection, and improve security. Now, these are the two disadvantages. The first disadvantage is it can't be helped. Now, every good thing will have a side effect. Now, the side effect you can avoid as much as you can, but it can't be removed totally. Okay, it's that kind of disadvantage, that is privacy. Because see, all this data which is gathered by the sensor or collected by the systems, not necessarily that all the data is collected through sensors only. Okay, sometimes we input the data. Okay, we create accounts. So when we create accounts, our data is getting shared in the network. And somewhere or the other, however you try to be secure, you try to be very private while using internet, the data gets saved somewhere in the server. Okay, because it's a connected network. Okay, so it can't be avoided even without the active participation of the user. You see, even without the active participation of the user, the IoT system provides substantial personal data in maximum detail. Now this is a bit concerning. Okay, this raises alarm in our mind. So how to overcome privacy? You can use VPN, you can use very efficient antivirus software, you can use trusted websites, that is how, which are secure in nature, which gives you more security you can trust on them. All right. So that is how you can take care, but it can't be avoided. You have to be vigilant. Now complexity. Now complexity for simple devices, for simple systems, it's easy. Now this was a very easy example. Okay, fire detector and how to put out the fire. Okay, this is a very simple example. But when you are designing a complete smart city or a smart grid, smart grid maybe you can imagine the example of private electricity providers. Okay, so they may have one source, but they provide electricity to multiple cities. Okay, and that the process is also automatic. So it requires lot of machine power, mechanical power, electricity, as well as a lot of infrastructure. Okay, so the design, maintenance, and everything is complex, but it can be handled. Okay, because such systems are available. We have smart cities, we have smart grids, we have smart hospitals. Okay, so it can be managed, but the design is complex. The designing, developing, maintaining, and enabling the large technology to IoT system is quite complicated. So these are only the two disadvantages, but the first one, uh, it depends upon the awareness of the user, how they use internet, how they use IoT devices, okay, and how they take care of their privacy. Then next is applications of IoT. Now these are textual points. First one is smart lighting. So illumination of light is controlled on daily basis of daylight. So as per the natural daylight outside, the smart lights inside the home, it will automatically adjust itself. You must have heard about such features. Okay. Then smart thermostats. So this is the opposite of AC. These devices are used to increase the temperature and allows user to schedule, monitor, and remotely control. Remotely control means you can be on in the market and control the temperature of the thermostat in your home through mobile app. Okay. Then smart locks and garage door openers. So as I told you, password based or facial recognition based doors and locks. Okay, smart security camera. So security cameras that can identify known and unknown person and raise alarm in case of security threat. Okay, so smart traffic signal. So only just identifying an unknown person is not enough. You can definitely identify from any camera, but a smart security camera will raise an alarm. Okay, that's the added feature. Then smart traffic signal that can just signals that can adjust their timing to accommodate commutes. Okay, so as per the timing, means in the morning, the rush during the rush hour, the commutation is maximum. Okay, and during the afternoon, it's quite less. Okay, so accordingly, the signals can be adjusted. Holiday traffic is more during holiday. People like to travel. People like to visit places. The traffic is more. Okay, so which routes are more busy and which routes are less busy. Okay, all these things can be monitored, taken care. The traffic can be diverted. Okay, then keep the cars moving. So all these smart IoT systems are designed on the basis of input processing output. Okay, the systems are made in that manner. Now this is the data which I got from the internet. These are the examples: smart cities, smart homes, self-driving cars. Definitely you have seen them. Then smart farming, fitness trackers, a fitness tracker, smartwatch, but not necessarily only smartwatch. There are many devices other than smartwatch which gives you the functionality of fitness trackers. Okay, there are apps also. Then smart factories, hospitality and tourism. Okay, now here smart factories, definitely robot, conveyor belts, all of those things are automatic, and use of internet is also there. Then hospitality and tourism, automatic door opening, closing system, and many other check-in, check-out, many other systems. Okay. Then retail IoT also you can understand uh, for the billing process. Okay, how the barcode scanners are used for automatic calculation, many such systems. Okay, in retail. Then smart grid, as I told you, smart grids are the electricity supply providers. Okay, and the way they manage their grids in automation, that is smart grid. Through automation, that is smart grid. Then health monitoring. Okay, so for monitoring your health, you have these fitness trackers and many other things. Okay, so websites will be available, doctors are available online for consultation. Correct. So all these are various examples of IoT. You have definitely heard about them, but you may not be aware they belong to a one common topic known as IoT. So now we are completely aware about IoT and its applications. So today we will stop over here and continue with cloud computing in next video. Stay tuned. Thank you everybody. Take care.